Well, next Saturday, June 19th, is Juneteenth. It's a holiday meant to celebrate when the last enslaved people were freed 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was issued.
And this year, many towns all across our state are holding their own Juneteenth celebrations. And Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sharon Johnson spoke with one organizer of an event in West Hartford.
Thousands of people walk through this West Hartford green every year. It was named after an 18th century enslaver, Timothy Goodman. With the green sitting in the center of West Hartford, a symbol of the community, one activist decided it was time for a name change.
I thought, why would we have the name of an enslaver on one of our pieces of property?
Posted in the middle of this land on South Main Street is a sign that says Goodman Green. It acknowledges Timothy Goodman, a settler and enslaver who owned more than 125 acres in what was the West Division of Hartford during the 18th century. It says he gave the parcel to a church.
There's nothing in it about him being an enslaver.
Down the street at Old Center Cemetery, there's a row of bronze stones engraved with epitaphs that reveal somber lives. One witness stone honors the man Timothy Goodman enslaved for life. His name was George.
George was enslaved by Timothy Goodman, who was a big landowner in town.
West Hartford historian and former teacher Dr. Tracy Wilson leads the West Hartford Witness Stones Project. For 3 years, 8th grade students have been researching the lives of people enslaved in West Hartford by poring over primary documents. They couldn't find many intimate details about George. Primary documents point out that George was likely passed down from Timothy Goodman to his son as a part of a will. Research also points to him being baptized in the Christian faith. Students with the Witness Stones Project have discovered accounts of more than 73 enslaved people in West Hartford during the 18th and 19th centuries.
Traditional account of slavery in New England is that people enslaved 1 or 2 people, and what we have found is something quite different than that.
President of Concerned Parents of Color, Adrienne Billings Smith, worked with several groups to hold the first Juneteenth ceremony in Goodman Green last year. She found out about Goodman's past and rallied for change.
I wanted to ensure that West Hartford was holding to its promise and its mission to be a diverse and welcoming town.
The First Church of Christ Congregational across the street owns the green. Billings Smith worked with the church, town historians, and community members to rename it. In January, it became Unity Green.
We thought we could name it after anyone, right? We could name it after any famous person, but it wasn't about the person. It was about the community.
Next week's Juneteenth celebration in West Hartford will be much different from last year's. This year, they have DJs, performers, choirs, along with a lineup of contests and activities. They'll also be celebrating in a space that Billings Smith says now truly belongs to everyone.
We want to make sure it feels like a community event. What Juneteenth is supposed to be about: freedom and jubilation and emancipation.
Reporting in West Hartford, Sharon Johnson, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.